Hey, good evening. This is Pastor Maris of Kingdom Marriage Ministries. Wanted to come to you today to just talk about the position of the kingdom husband in the marriage, and just kind of go over what his role is and how he is the anchor and how he is the initiator. He is the one that creates the environment that's conducive for love to flow in the home. So we're going to go over his role as the priest, the servant, and the governor of the home, because he is filled with the Ruach HaKodesh, who is his governor. The kingdom marriage does not begin with romance. It begins with government. Before Adam was ever a husband, before he was ever a husband, he was a son walking with Yahuwah in the cool of the day in the Garden of Eden. He received his presence before he received a wife. He received purpose before he received partnership. He received work before he had a wedding. He received responsibility before relationship. This is heaven's order. Many times, men will pursue marriage first and then Yahuwah second, and without allowing their relationship to be cultivated with Yahuwah, so Yahusha can live through him like it's supposed to be established in Galatians 2:20. Yahusha is the one that gives new life. Yet the father's not looking for the husband to be a groom first. He's looking for him to be a son. This is sonship. This is what's important. A kingdom husband understands that his highest calling is not merely to love his wife, but is to remain submitted to Yahuwah while doing so. His authority flows from his submission, which is sonship with Yahuwah. Because in and out of myself, it is impossible for me to love my wife at the level required by Yahuwah on my own. So I need to be in a relationship with Yahuwah the Father and allow Yahusha to live through me, through the Ruach HaKodesh. That's the only way that a husband can love his wife at the level required by Yahuwah. Yahusha demonstrated this perfectly. John 5:19 says, therefore Yahusha responded and said to them, truly, truly, I say to you, the Son is able to do naught by himself, but only that which he sees his Father doing, because whatever he does, the Son also does likewise. They're one in what they're doing, and the way they love, and the way they conduct themselves, and in their speech. So the husband has to be one. A husband cannot lead his family somewhere where he refuses to go himself. If he desires peace in his home, he must first become a man of peace. If he desires holiness in his home, he must be the first one that walks in holiness. A kingdom husband is first a worshiper. A worshiper. Jeremiah said he was a weeping prophet. You can't be afraid to cry in his presence. And I know that we were taught as men to hold our emotions, but when you get in the presence of Yahuwah, it's completely different. And when you come out of that presence and if you shed tears and you worship, then that overflows to how you love and how you cherish and take care of your wife. His first altar. A kingdom husband's first altar is not his house. It begins in his heart with Yahuwah. From that private altar, every other altar in his life receives fire. Just like the love of the Mashiach, the Messiah. Paul writes in Ephesians 5:25, husbands, love your wife as Mashiach also loved the assembly and gave himself for it. The Messiah did not lead through intimidation, nor should a husband. He led through sacrifice, so should a husband. He did not demand honor. A husband should neither. He became honorable. A husband must become honorable. He must conduct himself with honor. He must speak with honor. And then honor should flow from his wife and from his children. He did not use authority to control, nor should a husband. He used authority to serve. He was a servant. He didn't come to be served. He came to serve. A kingdom husband understands that leadership is measured by responsibility, not privilege. His wife is never his servant. She's never his maid. She is his covenant companion. She is entrusted to his care, not his control. Like a priest, he speaks blessings over his home. He speaks blessings over his wife. He speaks blessings over his children. Like a shepherd, he protects his family. Like a servant, he places their good before his own comfort. Like Mashiach, the Messiah, he washes his household with the word. The husband's government begins with self-government. Remember, in our hearts, someone is or something is always sitting on the throne. So you got to know what's governing you. And if anything that's sitting on your heart that does not align with Yahuwah and what how Yahushua says to live, then you need to give that to Yahuwah in prayer and get rid of whether that's fear, whether that's lust, whether that's manipulation, control, any of those things that may be seated on the throne of your hearts. You got to remove it. You got to be governed by the governor of heaven, and that's the Ruach HaKodesh. A man cannot govern his tongue. A man who cannot govern his own tongue cannot govern his home. A man who cannot govern his thoughts cannot govern his own leadership. A man who cannot govern his appetites cannot govern his influence. If a man has no discipline, he doesn't know how to say no. He doesn't have boundaries. He doesn't have requirements. Then he cannot govern his home and he cannot lead. The first kingdom a husband must rule is himself. That's by inviting Yahuwah into his life, being filled with the Ruach HaKodesh so he can live out the life of Yahushua HaMashiach before his family, before his wife, before his children. Because I guarantee you, when a man, a husband, a father lives out the word before his wife and his children, healing takes place. Blessings come upon their family. He is the most surrendered man. He must be the most surrendered man. His children learn courage by watching him trust Yahuwah. His wife finds safety because she knows her husband bows his knees before heaven before making decisions here on earth, in their home, in their marriage, with the children, with her. This is Natsarim fellowship. Natsarim were the name of the early followers of Yahushua, our Savior, our Redeemer. This is a kingdom of headship, not domination, not passivity, but a servant leadership under the government of the Ruach HaKodesh. And this is just some of the things that a husband must be able to do to live out the life of Yahushua before his family, before his wife, and to be in good standing with Yahuwah, his Father in heaven, his Creator. So we are always praying for you here at Kingdom Marriage Ministries. I just want the husbands to know that, remember when when Eve bit the fruit, nothing happened. But it was when Adam bit the fruit that now Yahuwah was saying, where are you, Adam? It's not because he didn't know, but the place that he created Adam in, he was no longer there at that place. He had dropped down. So why are you not here? So what we got to do is as fathers, as husbands, as men, we got to be able to always examine our hearts. Always examine what's seated on the throne of our hearts. And if there's anything that's not like Yahusha living on the inside of you, then you need to ask the Father Yahuwah to remove those things from your life so that you can be a person that your wife can look up to, that your children admire, that this man can lead a family and this man is able to shepherd other souls and be able to guide them into the ways of Yahusha. So again, I'm Pastor Maris of Kingdom Marriage. On behalf of my wife and I, we're always praying for your marriages. If you have any prayer requests, you can always inbox us or send us a message, and we will definitely pray for your marriages. Kingdom marriages, covenanted marriages, we are all about that. And see, this is how we expand our reign and rule here in the earth, by bringing heaven here, by the way a husband loves his wife, by the way a wife respects her husband as unto Yahuwah. And then they teach their children how to live like Yahusha. So it's very important that we do that and we continue that. And if it seems like we're starting to drift off, always bring each other back. Always be accountable. Always be responsible about living out the word. And heart examination is not a 1 week thing. The infilling of the Ruach HaKodesh is not a one-time thing. We always need to be ready to be filled with him. And when we see something that's not like us, that's not like Yahuwah, the character, the integrity, our character development is more important than our gifts. Speaking in tongues is more important than clapping our hands, because our character will define, and it'll also let us know who we truly serve. Because even after the gifts, even after all of that, the likes and the follows, if you don't know how to love, then some might not know that you are a servant of Yahushua HaMashiach. So always govern yourselves accordingly, and always be governed by heaven. Again, I'm Pastor Maris of Kingdom Marriage Ministries. We thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you in the next session when we talk about the Kingdom Wife.